Stop what you're doing for a minute and just think. What are you really working on? I'm not talking about the 50 emails in your inbox. I'm not talking about your to-do list or the meeting you have at 3 p.m. I'm talking about the big stuff, the thing that's supposed to change everything. Where is it? For most people, it's nowhere. It's a fog. It's a vague idea called someday. Someday I'll start that company. Someday I'll learn that skill. Someday I'll get in shape. Someday I'll build something that matters. You tell yourselves these stories, you make these vague resolutions, and you think you're planning. You're not planning. You're dreaming. You're hoping. And hope is not a strategy. You know why your progress is stalled? Why you feel stuck in the same loop year after year? It's because you have no vision. You have a wish list. You're floating. You're waiting for the dots to appear, hoping they'll magically connect themselves into a future you want. It doesn't work that way. The world is full of smart people, people with good ideas, people who are busy, but they never do anything. They never ship anything. They're stuck in the complexity of it all, paralyzed by the 1,000 different paths they could take. So they take none, they just react. Their inbox becomes their to-do list, and their life is defined by other people's priorities. That is not how you build a future. That is not how you put a dent in the universe. If you want to get unstuck, if you are serious about this, you have to do the one thing most people are terrified to do. You have to get clear. You have to be ruthless. You have to decide right now what your future looks like. And then you have to go out and build it. Most people start with the how. They ask, how do I get a promotion? How do I raise money? How do I build an app? They're asking the wrong questions. They're starting in the middle. They're looking at their feet, wondering what the next step is, without ever having looked at the horizon. You have to start with the what and the why. What is the destination? What is the vision? Why does it matter? When you get that right, the how takes care of itself. The vision is the starting line. When I was younger, I heard a quote that stuck with me. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. A lot of people misunderstand this. They think it means you should just wander around collecting random experiences and hope it all makes sense in the end. No, that's not it at all. Trusting that the dots will connect isn't passive. It's an active belief. It's the faith that if you follow your heart, your intuition, your curiosity, even when it doesn't make practical sense, you are placing a dot. You are creating something to connect to. When I dropped out of Reed College, it was terrifying. I didn't have a plan. I was sleeping on the floor in friends' dorm rooms, returning Coke bottles for food money. But I was free. I was free to stop taking the required classes I hated and free to drop in on the ones that looked interesting. So I dropped in on a calligraphy class. Did I have a vision for how calligraphy would change the world? No. I just saw that it was beautiful. It was historical, artistically subtle in a way that science couldn't capture. I found it fascinating. It was a dot. 10 years later, we were designing the first Macintosh computer, and it all came back to me. If I had never dropped in on that calligraphy course, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. And since Windows just copied the Mac, it's likely that no personal computer would have them. We placed a dot and we trusted it would connect. But you can't just place dots at random. You have to have a gravitational pull, a North Star. That is your vision. Your vision is not a 5-year plan. It's not a spreadsheet. It is a high-resolution picture of the future. It's a feeling, it's a destination so clear in your mind that it feels inevitable. You have to work backward from that reality. This is the first step. Define your vision. I don't mean for the rest of your life. Life is too long for that. Let's talk about the next 90 days. A year is too long. You'll procrastinate. A month is too short. You can't build anything meaningful. 90 days. A season. What is the one single most important thing you must accomplish in the next 90 days? What is the one milestone that, if you hit it, will change everything else? This isn't a list of 20 things. This is one thing. maybe 2. You have to force yourself to choose. This is the hardest part, and it's the most important. You have to decide which dot you are going to create. It needs to be specific. Make more money is not a vision. Launch the beta of my product to 100 users by day. 90 is a vision. Get in shape is not a vision. Run a 5K without stopping is a vision. Get a piece of paper, write it down, make it clear, make it binary. You either did it or you didn't. This is your reality for the next 90 days. This is the mountaintop. A bicycle for your mind. When I was just starting out, I read an article that compared the locomotive efficiency of different species. It measured how much energy it took for them to get from point A to point B. The condor was the most efficient. Man, we came in about 1/3 of the way down the list. Not very impressive. But then, the article measured a man on a bicycle, and a man on a bicycle blew the condor away. It was unbelievable. It was this perfect synthesis of human and tool. That idea stuck with me. A bicycle for the mind. That's what I thought the computer was. It was a tool that could amplify our innate human abilities, taking us further and faster than we could ever go alone. That was the vision. It wasn't let's build a beige box that can run a spreadsheet. It was let's build a tool that will empower people to change the world. That was the vision for the Macintosh. Once you have the vision, the bicycle for the mind, the next step is to work backward. You have to reverse engineer the milestones. If our destination is day 90, what has to be true on day 60? What has to be true on day 30? What do I need to do this week? This is where focus comes in. And people think focus means saying yes to the thing you've got to focus on. But that's not what it means at all. Focus is about saying no. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. It means saying no to distractions. Saying no to meetings that don't have a point. Saying no to projects that are interesting but don't serve the vision. When I came back to Apple in 1997, the company was a mess. We were weeks from bankruptcy. And you know what the product line looked like? It was a disaster. We had dozens of different products, different versions of the Mac, printers, peripherals. I couldn't even figure it out myself. How was a customer supposed to? So we said no. We drew a simple 2x2 grid, consumer, pro, desktop, portable, 4 products. That was it. We canceled 70% of what we were working on. We said no and no and no again. People were furious. We were killing their projects, but we had to. We had to save the company. We had to get back to the vision. This is what your 90-day plan requires. You have your destination, you've worked backward to find the path. Now you must have the discipline to say no to everything that is not on that path. Your 90-day vision isn't just a plan, it's a filter. It simplifies the world. You no longer have to wonder what to do. You just ask one question. Does this get me closer to the mountaintop? If the answer is yes, you do it. If the answer is no, you don't. Period. It's that simple. And it's that hard. The 90-day revolution, you have your vision. You have your milestones. Now comes the part where everyone else fails. The execution. A vision without execution is a hallucination. You can have the most brilliant idea in the world, the most perfect plan, but if you don't do the work, it's all just talk. This is where the 90-day sprint becomes a 90-day revolution. The third step is daily execution. This is the work, this is the craft, this is getting your hands dirty. This is where the artists are separated from the dreamers. You don't get to the mountaintop by looking at it, you get there by climbing. Every single day. You have to obsess over the details. When we were building the original Mac, we obsessed over everything. The curve of the plastic, the sound of the disk drive. We even argued over the fonts on the screen. We wanted it to be perfect. We wanted it to be insanely great. Why? Because we believe that when you're building something, you're putting a piece of yourself into it. The people who are going to use it, they deserve your best. That is how you must treat your 90-day vision. Every day is a chance to add your signature to the work, to make it a little better, to polish it, to sweat the details that no one else sees. You don't do it for them, you do it for you, because you know you have to fall in love with the process of building, not just the idea of the outcome. Most people give up because the daily work is a grind. It's not glamorous. It's just work. But the people who change the world are the ones who fall in love with that grind. They love the work itself. I was fired from Apple. It was devastating. The one thing that had been the center of my life was gone. For a while, I didn't know what to do. But I slowly realized something. I still loved the work. I loved making things. So I started again. I started 𝐁𝐿. I started Pixar. And in the end, it was the best thing that ever could have happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. You have to love the work, because if you don't, you'll give up. And any rational person would give up. It's too hard. The only way to persevere is to love what you are doing. The fourth and final step, the weekly check-in. This is where you are brutally honest with yourself. Once a week, every Sunday night, let's say you sit down, no distractions. You look at your 90-day vision, you look at your milestones, and you ask yourself, did I do what I said I was going to do? This isn't about feeling good. This isn't about trying. It's about results. Did you ship the code? Did you make the calls? Did you write the pages? Did you do the work? Or did you get distracted? Did you make excuses? Did you let the fog creep back in? You have to be honest. If you failed, you write it down, you own it, you figure out why, and you recommit for the next week. You don't beat yourself up, you just get clear. You recalibrate. This weekly check-in is your compass. It keeps you from drifting. It's the feedback loop that makes the entire 90-day plan work. It keeps the vision in sharp focus. So, that's the framework. It's simple. Define a clear, binary vision for day 90. Reverse engineer the milestones. Execute daily with an obsession for the craft. Check in weekly with brutal honesty. That's it. That's the plan. This isn't just a theory. This is how we built everything. This is how you go from two guys in a garage to changing the world. And if you believe in this, if you believe that a small group of thoughtful, committed people can, in fact, change the world, then you're in the right place. This channel isn't for everyone. It's for the crazy ones, the rebels, the troublemakers. If that's you, then show it. Subscribe to this channel. We are building a community of people who think differently. Your time is limited. Look, you can have this perfect 90-day plan. You can have the framework, but you'll still fail if you're missing the most important ingredient, urgency. Why 90 days? Why not 900? When I was 17, I read a quote. It went something like, if you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right. It made an impression on me. And since then, for the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. Your time is limited. It's the most valuable currency you have, and you are spending it every day, whether you like it or not. You can't save it, you can only choose how to spend it. Are you going to spend it living someone else's life? Are you going to spend it trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking? Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. This 90-day plan, it's not a productivity hack. It's a tool for life. It's a way to reclaim your time. It's a way to ensure that you are not just floating, but that you are living. That you are consciously, deliberately building a life that matters to you. Don't wait. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the right time. The right time is now. That vision you have, the one you're scared to tell anyone about, it's not stupid. It matters. But it will only ever be a dream unless you act. Start today, not tomorrow, today. Make the choice, get clear, draw the map, and then take the first step. Lay the first brick. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with that first terrifying, wonderful step. And one more thing. We're here to put a dent in the universe. That's why we do this. That's the only reason that matters. We're not here to build boring boxes. We're not here to make incremental improvements on yesterday. We are here to make tools that empower people to do wonderful things, to create, to discover, to build their own future. This 9 tons day vision, it's your tool, it's your bicycle. It will amplify your ability to create, to build, to make your dent. But it all starts with you, with a decision. The world doesn't need more followers. It doesn't need more people who are realistic. It needs rebels. It needs visionaries. It needs people who see the status quo and say, no, there's a better way. So, my question to you is, what are you going to do? Are you going to close this video and go back to your inbox? Are you going to let the fog of someday settle back in? Or are you going to get out that piece of paper? Are you going to get quiet, get clear, and define your next 90 days? Are you going to start the climb? The journey doesn't end here. If you are one of the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, if you are committed to thinking differently and putting a dent in the universe, then subscribe, press the like button. Join the movement. This is your life. This is your time. Don't waste it. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. Now, go and do something wonderful.